What is going on, everybody? I hope you're doing well. We're not. It's been here for a long time. A long, long time. Dune Awakening. At least the audio check sounds great. So we'll put you over there and let you sit and do your thing. There we go. Look, yay, we could play tonight. All right. Yesterday, I was hanging out with my friends. Yes, I do have some. And I was very laggy. Very, very laggy. So, hopefully we have a little bit better results tonight. So, here we are. We're going to go play in the deep desert. I have quite a few missions to do, but they can wait. It'll be all right. I have no sound. None whatsoever. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Heck, what happened to the sound? You know? Oh, we got that in the wrong one, that's why. There we go. Now we got sound. Get to see my co-pilot. What's up, bud? He's hanging in there. Love you. There we go. Sorry. Couldn't quite reach. Okay, I think we're good to go now. So, we are still doing tons of construction. Resources are dwindling as we're sitting here watching stuff go down. But we have recovered a bit on the water. Broke 1 million again, so that's good. We're going to use a bunch of it right now, though. But yeah, so we are just crafting our little hearts out. Try not to go over 500 because it starts wreaking havoc on the storage. Starts sending it places that are kind of strange. Let's see. Except for here. I think. Oh, no. Alright. So we're going to transfer it to the buggy, and we're going to get... We have no... We got the hiccups. We got no aluminum. None whatsoever. So, we have made a bunch of aluminum ingots, that's for sure. I go up? No way. So we are going to set up this. We're going to get a little ballsy on. We're going to do a little more. Then we got to come over here and get that out of there. I was going to say, man. Didn't think we hit it perfect. 9 away. That's pretty close. And then finally, I did have another machine built here. But then I was like, oh, dude, I got some dead space over in this place. We can move it over here. Really nothing to make right now. So, unfortunately. Now we could do 115 plastanium. We're already down to 600,000. Problem is, I started letting my resources get a little low. What's going on, Christopher? How you doing, bud? I let my resources get low. Kind of got a little lazy. So we fell behind. Really far behind. Now we're pretty much getting hit with... well, like I said in the description, what we're doing is we gather the materials, bring them back here. It'll be fine. We bring them back here, we start making stuff. We're pretty much using it as quickly as we can get it in there. Until finally we ran out of water. And then we had to kind of stop. So we still were out gathering resources, which is why we're able to make the stuff we're doing now, but we've got issues. So, it isn't critical, but it's been inhibiting, and I don't like that. I do have options though. I could make more death stills if I really wanted to get a bunch of water. You know, I could put a whole row of these things across, do like 7 or 8 of them, do them all at once. Boom, 400,000. Away we go. You know, but we're still chugging along, and I don't want to make too many changes to the base. Plus, power is going to be an issue. We are running high. I normally don't like getting that close. I like to keep it around like 66%, which that's where we're at. If I threw some death stills down, I mean, these things use 350, so 2 of them would send me over the limit. I could turn some stuff off, but I got a lot of things running. You know, I got 3 machines running right now. So that led me to deciding that what we're going to do right now is, instead of trying to attack the problem of I need more materials to make more stuff, making the stuff, now I need material, we're just going to spend our time tonight. I'm going to get some stuff in bulk. We're about to go crazy. The way we're going to do that is with all of our machinery here. In my Deep Desert series about getting plastanium, and well, it wasn't my Deep Desert series, it was getting out of the plastanium, into plastanium tier stuff. And I kind of talked about, you know, build a base out there. You can refine Stravidium and titanium and get some spice, do some minor steps, get to the bigger machines, start making some of the bigger pieces of equipment, whether it's refineries or the vehicles you're flying around in. And, you know, it kind of looks like once you get to that point, then, you know, it's like, you know, running a marathon. Once you cross the line, you kind of slow down and you taper off, and then you go home. So what's the point of continuing to run? My efforts are basically guild based. That's why I've been producing as much as I have. And we do have a lot of guild resources that I could be using, but I'm not trying to do this, you know, as much as it's my idea of what we're doing. So as much as I can do on my own, I kind of feel that's the point. I'm the one pushing the direction. So we are going to combine 3 different things tonight. We're going to combine our carrier to get us and our cargo container out into the deep desert with our buggy. So instead of flying the buggy out, going out, filling the buggy up, coming back, we're going to drop the cargo and the carrier with our buggy, and we are going to fill up the buggy, dump it in the cargo, go back out, fill up the buggy, dump it in the cargo. And we're going to do that until we get tired of doing it or this thing's full. It's probably going to be the first one because these bad boys can hold some materials. But anywho, this is one of the benefits of once you get this type of equipment. So if you're not there yet, this is what you should be striving for. Because now I need tons of materials for a new concept and a new project I have, and this is going to be the best way to get it. So that's where we are tonight. But we are not building a base. Normally I would have a base out there just for the safety and protection of it, but I can't do that. I could, but I don't want to get that crazy with things. So we're just going to bring our container out and we're just going to park it right out in the open and go do our thing. Not the safest way of doing this. People can't mess with it because we're not going to go out of the PvE section. We're going to be staying on the shield wall. But the issue would be any storms that come through could wreak havoc on us. And that would definitely be bad. So first thing we're going to do is make sure that and everything here should be just fine. I just did a big run through where I was like, dude, you got to make sure all your equipment is repaired. So as you can see, we're doing good here. I got a bad engine for some reason. Not sure what's wrong with my engine, but okay. Get shot at in my carrier. I don't know. So what we have to do is, gotta run around in circles. That's always a good plan. First thing we gotta do is make sure this bad boy is empty. As you can see, 0 out of 15,000 with 150 slots open. She's empty. So, of course, we're going to go fill it up. It's relatively safe as far as storm damage goes, because with the Coriolis storm getting ready to reset everything, it kind of tones down the normal winds. So, what do we need to do? Well, we're going to go up here to that, and we're going to drop a bunch of fuel cells in here so that when we're out there, in case we need them, we have them. I'm just going to take them all. If I don't use them all, I'll just bring them back.
A large sandstorm is approaching.
Remember us talking about sandstorms? So, we're probably going to go get more. So let's bring a couple welding wires. I don't want to get too crazy because there's so much salvage metal laying around. We'll be able to find plenty of that. Boy, we are not doing well with fuel cells these days. We're going to have to remember to make some when we get back. Could go make them now, but you know what? That'll be a good example of something. So let's see here. Well, I was only going to bring 10, but you know what? We're going to bring some extras. So let's say I need fuel cells real bad. But unfortunately, in my machine that makes fuel cells is already running, and it's making cobalt paste. And a whole bunch of it. If you close this, it's going to drop all of the materials. The water goes back in the tank, I believe. And all of those materials go into the storage, into your backpack, and on the floor. Not a good setup. So, what you want to do is, what is it we want to make? We want to make large vehicle cells. I don't have enough fuel cells. Unbelievable. This is the problem. Why do I not have enough fuel cells? And of course, there's a storm outside. Alright, so what we're going to do, how far is that? 2,000? Oh, can we make it? What do you think? Because there is a fuel cell right outside the door here. Oh boy. Alright.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm.
No, this is not the time to be coasting. We're hitting wrong buttons. There we go. There's a cool 1,000. We'll get back in the driver's seat. Little F1 action. Storm is right on top of us. As you can see, we are now glitching, because that's what happens when storms hit me now. Never used to be a problem. There would be a tad, like a little bit of frame loss right in the beginning of the storm, and then it would just be normal and I'd be running around. But as this game has progressed, man, it is just worse and worse and worse. Every time they do a patch or an update, my sandstorm issues get more and more and more. Alright, so we went out, we snagged some fuel cells. We're going to stick them in that machine up there. But while I'm down here, I want to go ahead. We're going to tear apart our buggy. Normally, I just run around Hago with this bad boy. I have a standard tier 6 buggy that I take out the deep desert. But this one's got the bigger boot, and it's got the focus buggy cutter array. So it's going to do a lot more, a little more bang for my buck. So we are going to detach. We're going to take all this stuff out. The storm ending is going to play havoc on this as well. You want to keep an eye on how much space you have as to whether or not you can fit an entire buggy in your backpack. Game mechanics, right? Put this entire buggy in my backpack. Miniaturization, that's the way I explain it. I think we're going to be fine. I cannot fit an entire carrier unless I get rid of a bunch of the stuff I have. So my standard loadout, come on, man, is an issue. But we should be just fine. Make sure there's nothing laying on the ground. I did that once, took my buggy apart, and the last thing I pulled from it, I couldn't carry, and it dropped on the ground, and I took off and just Went out to the deep desert, tried to put my buggy back together, and could not figure out why I only had 3 treads. So I made another one, put it on there, and then when I got back to Haggett, it was still actually laying on the ground there. Because I came in up top, made it, and then I went down, and it was laying on the ground, so I had an extra one, but it's no big deal. Okay, back to the original problem that we were having, is that we unfortunately have 386 cobalt paste being made, but I need to get some fuel cells right now so I can go do whatever I want. So I'm going to go ahead and craft an amount, and we're going to put 5 in, and I hit craft, and it shows up down here. But if you expand this, you'll notice that you've got an X, and then you've got an up arrow. That up arrow allows you to jump the material that you're clicking on and start immediately producing it without having to cancel stuff and do crazy things. So I'm just going to do this right now. As you can see, now I've got my large cells here. As soon as this one's done, it doesn't stop what's currently being made. But as soon as this one's done, now it's switched over and it's going to pop out those vehicle cells. Once they're done, it goes right back to making cobalt paste like nothing happened. So what I'm going to do here real quick is we are going to go to our carrier. I put it in for 5. We're only going to take the 3. I'll tell you what, we'll just drop this down. We'll take all 5. I just got to remember when I come back here that I have none. Okay, so I got 2 more being made. Let's go back over here. We'll expand it again. As you can see, we got 1. Boop. And then it's going to make the next one. And once it finishes that, it just goes right back to what it was doing before. You can't set an amount like make 100 cobalt paste, then switch to the fuel cells. But you can interrupt a production run. It doesn't cause any problems, doesn't cause any issues. Good information to know. I got quite a bit here. I got a bunch of junk on me too as well. So I'll go ahead and clear these just to get them, and up we go. Okay. Finally straightened out. So the whole reason that we're doing this, is because we want to put the buggy in our carrier container, and that will allow us to carry it. I still have problems, guys. Well, we knew that, but I still have internet problems, I would think. But that's going to let us carry our buggy out into the deep desert, which we can then reassemble once we're out there. Throw one of these fuel cells or 2 in it, and away we go. You can also do this with ornithopters if you wanted to. Speaking of, we are going to make sure that we have our backup tool and that we have some kind of thopter. Holy cow. I got issues. So we're carrying a thopper. Looks like it's our rocket scout. That'll be fine. That way, in case something happens to the carrier, we're not stuck out in the deep desert. We've got options. If you have friends, guildmates and stuff, you could call for help. Otherwise, kind of screwed. Oh, Miss Rabbit coming up the stairs. So, now we're going to get in here, and wow, we have very few fuel cells for this bad boy. But we throw 2 of them in there, that should be plenty. We're not going to do that much flying around with it. And now we're up. And here we are. And it's off to the deep desert we go. Is definitely one of the questions that you have. Hey, buddy. as far as this game, like, you know, I'm collecting all these things and I'm doing all this crazy stuff. Why am I doing it? What am I doing it for? Well, you know, when you get a crazy idea and you want to make it happen, now we've got the means to do it. I won't make it all the way there before it overheats. We're going to drop it real quick for a second, though. Timing. Oh, incredible. If you go to an overland location in your carrier, it still looks like a regular one. It's out there. You go there and your assault looks like a regular scout. I mean, I give them that. It's just easier to code it that way, just to make it a hard case something. All right, so I am going to, I'm going to go to the normal side I usually go to. I could go in the center, but you know, everybody else is in the center. Here we go. Ideally, I would like to have like a little base, little spot to put this stuff down, but we don't have that. So we're going to make do. I'm going to find a nice little spot that's semi-protected, that I don't have too many issues, and can maybe keep things from potentially getting damaged if there's a storm. I think once the Coriolis comes in, it just seems like there's less storm activity than normal, so what we want to do is we want to find a nice little place to just plop down. It's kind of out of the way, won't cause issues for anybody else driving through or maneuvering through, and let's just get done what we want to do. So for me, I'm thinking right in around in here is where I want to go. This is a nice little sheltered spot, out of the way. There are some caves over here if people are trying to visit them, but if we're over here, we should be pretty well out of the way. I thought about plopping it down in there, but like I said, that, you know, kind of a douchebag move. In case other people wanted to do this, I'm going to do them too, because with our death still usage, we have really gotten a bunch of, gone through a lot of bodies. So we're going to drop this thing right in here. And then we are still unsheltered. Gotta be right up against the wall for that to count. So let's go ahead and try to do that. See if we can get that container. The carrier, I'm not quite as worried about. I mean, I don't want it hurt, damaged, but it's got a lot of health, and you know, it's okay. So that's tucked in there real nice. And while we're at it, let's see if we can just well, I'm done messing with this. But we are sheltered, so at least, even though it's not laying on the ground properly, we should be alright. I just hope it doesn't glitch itself down under the map. That would be horrific. In fact, kind of scared about that. Alright, so let's go There's easier ways to get close to it, but whatever we have to do, right? So let's move you guys up. And we are going to take all these pieces back out, including a couple fuel cells. We'll take 3 because one of them is going to go into it right away. And let's get back over to our torch. And we're going to assemble. Invalid position, huh? Oh, come on. So you just got to find a spot that it's going to let you put the thing together. And here we are. Now, unfortunately, we've lost our color scheme, and that would normally really bother me. Like, I'd be like, no, hell no. But I'm not going to worry about it right now because we're just going to take it apart here in an hour or two. Efficiency. So we'll fly around in there, drive around in our chome colored buggy. And there we are. Okay, first up, anything in this area. And because, like I said, we need some bodies, we're going to go kill these guys. Goodbye, lady. And I'm going to take everything. We've been doing some stuff, so... Yay, we're going to jump in the air for no reason. And then, I'll take you. Might as well take that, right? I don't need them. Okay. So now, I'll keep the rest of that silliness on me, but because the body is kind of heavy, I'm going to go ahead and drop it in there. Hopefully we can get 2 out of this way. There are 2. Well, that didn't work. She blocked it. Okay, thank goodness. Silly lady. I don't think I could pick that up. I did. Wow. I'm not sure why that dropped it under the ground, but whatever. Can I pick this stuff up? Oh boy. Should have dropped off a bunch of other dumb stuff. Doesn't matter, we got it all. It's the only thing we need out of here. So now, we're going to run through the local area here. Before we do that, we're going to put them 2 bodies in there. Awesome. Now we're going to just drive around this area and fill this bad boy up. I have a ton of Stravidium back at my base. So Stravidium is not as important, but you know what? We're going to grab everything. I don't even care anymore. Plant fibers was on the list of stuff to get. I normally won't stop unless there's a good amount of them. In this case, it kind of is. I mean, you know, I'll run a little bit for it. Fuel cells I could have grabbed, but not really too worried about picking things up off the ground. Obviously, plant fibers you have to. The wreck of the Taiki is wonderful for those. And our first contestant is this little block of aluminum. And there's another one right over there. Normally I would go the other way, but if you can look and see an item, like this massive Stravidium, why not? But that's as far as we go. It does look a little weird with the chome color scheme. Like I'm not used to that. As you can see there, I just passed up 2 blocks of, or 2 little plant fiber things. Not enough there to to make me get out of the chair. Boy, that's the laziest thing I've ever said. Video game wise, I would say. We just went right past some aluminum because I was looking at the titanium that's up there. The amount that we're going to be bringing back with us, we will not be able to store in our normal places. We just don't have enough storage space to completely empty however much we're going to snag from this cargo container. So, not even worried about it. That's a later rabbit problem, not a current rabbit problem. So yes, this is what we do. We drive around until it cries that it's full. It does seem weird to come out here to the deep desert just to grab fuel cells, but you know what? There's so many more. There's so many more than what you find. I mean, you find them all over Haga, don't get me wrong, but there's just so many more. See what I mean? See what I mean? See what I mean? And this, my goal here is to, we don't need copper. My goal here is to be able to solve, like I have one problem, one big problem now, and this is the fact that I need these materials. So we're gonna come out here, we're gonna get them. I don't have enough storage for them, so we're gonna have to figure that out. It's okay, it's not a hard problem. We'll make some boxes, we'll stuff them in there. My next issue is I don't have enough water for all the things that I'm trying to do. So we have to address a lack of water. It's kind of funny because we have 6 inventory's full. We got 6 units on the roof making water. Like seriously, how is that a problem, you know? I'll split this down and see if I can bring this over, which I think I can. Yes, cool. All right, we'll come over here. I'm not going to get too critical on it. I just want to see how much I can get. I got a little bit extra. I'm going to quit the game. All right, first trip is done. Fuel cells for days. Now there's more of a route to do in this area. I have not finished off what I would normally run in this loop. But if there was some aluminum up here. Don't you fall through this map. Come back up here. Another route. I'm going to go back and pick up where I left off. Look at all the fuel cells. Just because that's back doesn't mean they are. You'll be like, oh, that's cool, and then you zoop in there and the chests haven't respawned. Sometimes the guys do, but the chests aren't. Now, I don't think this is going to be an easy transfer without a base. Without a base, I would be, or with a base, I would be able to just pop into a box and, but without one, yeah, so I gotta do this crap by hand. Oh well. It's not the hardest thing in the world. Let's get these up here just so it's organized, because that's how I roll. And we'll be able to move this. It's going to take a long time. Holy cow. It's not so bad, because once we get a bunch of stuff stuck in here, we can just do the quick deposit, especially since we're just grabbing the same materials. Let's do you, and we'll do you. We'll do you. There we go. I have to sneeze. Sorry. I've actually been sick. It's not been good. Okay. We are almost there. This is actually a pain in the butt. I should build a base when I do this. Titanium's going to take forever to get over. Okay, and now I think everything that we're collecting, we've got fuel cells in there. We've got aluminum, titanium, and bodies. So we should be good. Now I can just... Oh, dude, stop entering the damn vehicle, you moron. You can do this. Problem's going to be that, you know, it may not come over in full amounts. That's not bad. So now we can come up here and just do that, and it'll immediately... Oh, it took all our welding wire in our vehicles. It's okay, though. Worse things. Alright, so we are able to get into a spot where we are close enough to this to where we can just tap F, and we gotta hold F. And we can just bounce between the two, so it's not the worst thing. It's not the best. Definitely should be doing this with some kind of a small little base. Lesson learned. Make a small base. Otherwise, you're standing here doing this ridiculousness. And if you're like me, keep getting in the vehicle. We may have to drop as much inventory as we possibly can, because this is getting ridiculous. Right? And look, there's still more, so much more. Especially if we try to fill this thing. You know? That's going to take... This alone won't be so bad when we bring over less materials, I guess, but there's got to be a vehicle transfer method, right? All I need is one plastanium box, and I'd be like, I don't. I have 3 bases up right now, so I can't make another sub beef, so I'm kind of screwed. I have screwed myself. Imagine that. I can get a lot of fuel cells. That at least is good. Oh, I hate this. Let's see if we can trim down our inventory a little bit on this next go around here. So, take you and you and you. Alright, let's do this. What do we have that is, weighing us down so much? 0.5, 1, 2. A bunch of rockets. Don't need those. Don't need all that. Alright, so let's drop you, you, and you, and that takes us down to 74. That's kind of what I normally run. That helped. Getting rid of this stuff's not going to do anything. 1 volume, 0.6, 0.6, 0.2. We're not going to hang out in radiation. These I use for backup, so really don't feel comfortable getting rid of those. So there we go. We're down to 53. That'll make life a little bit easier. Yeah, see? I mean, it still blows, but at least we're going a bit faster. How much of you can I get? Not all of it, but a bunch. Dude, this would have been done instantly with a box. Okay, we should get done. This should be it, right? Please tell me I can get them all. Please get them all. Yes, thank you. Alright, so painful, but there's our first run. We're going to quit the game. Before we leave, we need to grab a couple fuel cells because I remember put them back in, and we also need to take back our welding wire. I'm not sure where it stuck that, but I guess we had the 500. Oh yeah, there's the fuel cells we had. Let's go ahead and switch you out. Okay, it's gonna keep doing that as we do the transfer and back and forth, but there's nothing for it. All right, 1 run. I don't think I can get that, but we might be able to take a trip up top. See what we can do. Easy there. Whee! Stunt driving. Where did it go? It's right down there, right? Yep. Perseverance wins. Okay. And we're just going to go right back up to where... Oh, hello. Right back up to where we were. And get more. I am so screwed if they ever put vehicle damage into this game. like vehicle impact damage, I'm done. It's over for me. The only reason I'll be playing this game is to make the vehicle parts that I constantly have to replace. Is that a cat that wants in or out? What do you think? Alright, I'm not going too crazy over the fuel cells now. We've got quite a bit. Let me let him in. Oh. Hi. Yeah? You okay now? Now they let you in? We're all better? Come here. Yeah. Oh, you gotta say hi. Say hi. Mwah. Yeah, you love that, don't you? All right, congratulations, you're in the room. I mean, I did want a bunch of fuel cells. Maybe I should be hitting them. Tad bit of aluminum over here. This is, I think, the one that we were drawing from. So we are... It's copy. You will not want that. Yeah, there was nothing left of that node. Kind of nice, you know. Sorry for the cat bud, guys. There you go. That would have been a douchebag move to leave that for somebody else. They come over and there's nothing left in it. Can you not? Can we not do this back and forth? So we're going to be moving to a new room in the house, which I'm kind of excited about because I think I can keep these guys out of here. Hey. Hey. Out. Come on. Come on. Stay down on the floor. Hang out with Eli. It's funny because you could say that it's my fault for letting him come up here, but the more I take him away from something, the more he wants it. Like, he's like, oh, I don't know why I'm not allowed to do this, but now that's all I want to do every single day of my life from here until the end of time. His brother, who looks similar, you take him down from something and he'll just like run away. Like, okay, fine, I'm not allowed up there. Pickle? Nah, pickles. Oh, I'm not allowed on the desk, you say? Well, let me jump right back up onto the desk. Part of gaming, though, you know? There's little tidbits and little moments of life that jump in, have to be dealt with. And this is what I like. Thank you, game. But two nodes that I want to grab right beside each other. And one of the good things about this is anytime I've come out here with my cargo container, it needed to be there because of all the stuff I was gathering throughout the course of the week, and when I tear the base down, I would need to put it in there. So this is actually the first time that I've been able to just come out here and fill up a container with raw materials. So it's like new territory for me. I've also always been a very big proponent of not bringing raw materials out of the deep desert. Since I'm able to make a base and can do production out here, it's a lot more efficient to take plastanium ingots out of here than the materials that you need to make them, the Stravidium and the plastanium. This coming week we will probably have a base out here that is production, depending on how well this works. I was thinking about doing some temporary water generation between between death stills and maybe a couple more generators up on the roof, some wind traps. Basically would be using the materials that normally would go into a deep desert base and use them to just kind of bump up my options, you know what I mean? This is dangerous. I'm still technically in PvP section, so I can be attacked. Unlikely that I would, but the danger is always there. Before we get too crazy, let's see how full are we. Very. So I don't want to go too far away. Hopefully we get some aluminum and stuff. There we go, now we're safe again. Someday my little jaunt by that ship is going to bite me in the butt. Whether it just happens to be somebody that's in that area, or if somebody watching the stream sees that I'm heading that way and they're like, oh, I'm going to get that guy. Someday I'll pay a price. I can feel it. Let's bring some fuel cells over. There we go. We're full. I took a little bit off the vehicle. It's a little weird when you fill up your backpack and then every time you mine something you see that. I think there was Stravidium over there, but I saw this one up here. We might also just throw down another spice generator. That's, yep, Stravidium. Look at that. We might throw down another spice generator to run them for the time being, and then plant a bunch of death stills. We're gonna pass up those guys. Thought I would coast into it, but I was wrong. Are we close to full? We are full. Why didn't it tell us? Little bits of water. Should have told us. Well, I guess we will grab some of these fuel cells. Alright, back to it we go. Oh, there's aluminum there that I missed. Come back straight away for that. Come on. Up and over. Don't do this. I say this every time and then I do it. Don't do it. You can pay a price. I have some stuff up on that island I gotta hit. Oh, there's stuff right in front of me. Oh my gosh. Look at all this great stuff that I'm finding. Oh, it's just completely full. A little bit lost. Going the wrong damn way, that's what's going wrong. I was like, this doesn't look right. Somebody's dependent on his icons. We don't have a marker, where do we go? Believe I can get to it through here. I mean, I wasn't wrong. Oh my lord. Oh, we got a channel member. Wired became a member. Gross. Ugh, you're my first channel member, dude. There'll always be a special bond between us. I mean, there kind of was anyway. The only reason I'm here is because you shot at me. So there's that. But thank you. Hopefully we'll live up. Now I got to do all the stuff in the... Oh, man. All right. So we got a bunch of fuel cells dropped off. I almost got into that vehicle. Dude, this is terrible. I didn't think about this. I thought I could access it. Oh my god, it takes 3. Oh. My gosh, you're gifting memberships now? Why are you being so nice? I gotta be nice to you a whole bunch? Oh my gosh. Look at that. You made me get into my vehicle. Well, thank you very much for that, buddy. I appreciate that. Oh. My first members to the inner circle. Oh. Did Jiggy get one? Jiggy needs one. I gotta get Jiggy one. Christopher's a member. Thank you. Christopher comes in all the time. No matching items. Of course not, because I'm an idiot. Oh, this is terrible. This really is. I almost went in it again.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Okay, so that was a little scary because we just got a sandstorm notification, but that's the Coriolis one, the Coriolis one. So it's not a sandstorm like we're used to, so we're okay. I don't know if it's true or if it's just me being stupid, but honestly, it seems like when we get this close to the Coriolis, it doesn't seem like they show up, you know? Oh my goodness. I hate this. If I wasn't streaming right now, and I made this the whole point of this, I would stop doing this right now. I would go tear down the other base I have, and I would put up a small little thing. Do I want... No, I'm good, man. Hold on, let me answer that. Okay. Too many button pushes. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, look at that. We can get a bunch. Ew, I had a horrible misspelling. Getting real good at the button pushes without having to think about it, man. We just click the button and go. That's the right one. Still want to go in. Oh my god. Go, go, go. Nope. We're trying to enter it. We're gonna get through it though. We're gonna take a look and see how much we have. Kind of got stuck on my own wheel there. I don't know if you saw that. Not gonna get it all. I knew I wouldn't. I don't think I'm gonna get it all again either. We'll get it next time. There's always a next time, guys. Okay. There we go. Vehicle is empty again. We'll hit that. And now I want to bring this. I want to bring this up. So we're halfway to being full. We do have some ridiculous stuff in here. What we'll do is we're going to keep running this, and then eventually I'm going to pull out these items. I took these out just kind of for some minimum amount of space. We will take these guys, we'll put them back into our backpack, and then we'll be able to fill up. Although I kind of look at it like, where are we winning / losing? Because you have to consider two things. You have to consider the total number of inventory slots you have, and then how much volume you're packing into it. And in this case, we are almost exactly half in both of them. We are half, 75 out of 150, and we're at 74, 84 out of 15. So volume wise, we're almost, 7,500 would be middle. I think 16 volume. That's nominal. So we're about halfway done in 2 trips in our buggy. We're probably going to start laying off the fuel cells because we have gotten a ton of those. We use them very quickly, but they're not the hardest thing to find in Haga. So let's start focusing a little more on the big 3: titanium, stravidium, and aluminum. So, what are you doing? Thank you, Wired. We have to talk to you now. Oh my gosh. We'll get to do some awesome members content where I get to swear. Okay, so as you can see there, I just got a notification that Sandstorm has taken out the shield on my sub beep, which is out there in the wild, which means that although I haven't seen storms, they apparently are still out and about, which is going to do some damage to... Oh, we jumped out like idiots. It's going to do some damage to that carrier and that my container. I think I've got them tucked in there well enough that it may not be such a bad thing. Thank you very much, Wired. That's also the first super chat I've ever gotten, dude. Too many firsts, man. Too many firsts. I'm going to have to be so nice to you now. Not going to be nice to Baron, though. Oh my god. Oh. I see some titanium sticking out. Oh, Baron's here. I don't know, man. He jumped ahead of you. Well, he's always ahead. No, sorry, Baron. You're a great guy, but Wired shot at me. Back when it counted. So since he's being so generous, I'm gonna rat him out here. What I'm talking about was I was just a happy little solo guy. It was actually on stream too, so you can go back and watch it. And did my first control point because I never cared about them. But there was a challenge or one of the achievements to do it. So I went and did this control point, and as I'm getting into my thopter, I drop my shield, and I even say it like, "Dude, don't drop your shield." And then all of a sudden, a rocket hits. So I get in, and there's some dill hole who's flying around the control point shooting at me, and I'm even at the point I had never been there, so I was wondering uh, if it was like the game, like it was an NPC, or if it was an actual person. It took me a little while to figure out that it was an actual person. And I was in a transport scout, so I went back and got my rocket scout. But by the time I came out, he had moved on, so I didn't know who it was. And I put a message up in the chat, and I was just like, "Who's the guy shooting? Who's just shooting at me at this control point?" Lo and behold, it was Wired, which I did respect him for the fact that he came forward and was like, "Oh yeah, it was me, dude." Um, Nothing's worse than somebody shooting at you and then not being enough to own up to it. So we had a little friendly banter. I don't get into the crazy things like that. And then it wasn't long after that that I first met Jiggy, who you see sometimes on the chat a lot. Um, and yeah, it was you. Absolutely was you. But um, Wired and I started talking, and then he sent me a guild invite. Now, my old guild had gone mostly to another server, and then they went to another game. So there wasn't very many people that were left around. Baron is one of them. Um, but we're all back together now. It's a big family. But none of it would have happened if Wired wasn't such a dill hole and shot at me. So sometimes good things happen when you shoot at people. I did not bring another fuel cell, and we're at about half right now, and we are nowhere near our capacity. Well, we're half. What's the worst that could happen? We end up having to run around, right? Have to get back over by foot. Hey, there's a cave. So there's a little history on what brought me where I am now. And I have a great guild with a bunch of characters. And I know for a lot of people, joining up into a group is really a hard thing. Look, it's a friend or an enemy. Not sure. They can't do anything regardless of what they are, but it's like they're bringing a crawler back, sand crawler. It's either full of spice or it's been full of spice a couple times and they're just taking it back because it is move out day. Eventually they'll show up again. There they are. Hello, friend or enemy. I'll be seeing you. But yeah. And it would have been real easy for me to have been like, yeah, Wired, why would I want to hang out with you? You shot at me. Be all saucy about it. It was no big deal. I mean, no offense. At that point, control points were these little, you know what, they don't exist anymore, so let's explain it. Control points are these little areas that used to be tied to the Landsrat, and if you controlled it, you got points for it. So, it'd give you points per minute. So even if you logged off and like went and did something else, you could still be getting Landsrat points, which that's how you used to get them back in the day. So it was cool. I just did it because there's an achievement and I'm an achievement hawk. So that's why I did that. And that's how we met. And I could have been saucy about it. I could have been, but I was in an area where you're potentially going to get shot at, and I got shot at. I can't have any complaints. There's a big issue going on my server right now. I don't know if this person's trolling or not, but in the server themselves, I'm not going to call out names because, and I know I do that and then immediately say the name, but for this one, I'm really not going to because I don't want to do that. I don't want to call out people, but an individual. Let's just call them Tom. Tom was apparently playing and was out in the deep desert with their carrier, and Tom got a little thirsty. So Tom got up from their chair and went to get a glass of water. And in the time that they were procuring that glass of water, somebody came along and found their carrier just sitting there and floating. So they shot the crap out of it. And apparently Tom came back as it was dying and jumped out and pulled out their pocket thopter that they were carrying and was trying to fly back to the PvE zone. And the individual who had just destroyed that carrier chased them down, shot them out of the sky even in their scout, and then killed them. And Tom was very upset about that and was posting in the Discord about how uncool that was. When I go out into the deep desert, when that thing turns red, I'm here because I can get attacked. If I don't want that kind of a situation to happen, guess what? I keep that bar yellow. If you go into an area where there's PvP possible, you cannot get upset at somebody who engages you. I mean, maybe you don't want it to happen, and I get that, but you can't fault them for doing what they're supposed to do in that zone. Now, like I said, I am not the kind of person who likes to ambush people, even though that's incredibly lore accurate, and that's what we all should be doing. I digress. I don't like doing that, and I also don't like to attack solo farmers. Being a solo player for so long before I found a cool guild to join, I kind of feel for the people that are solo farming, and I get it. Now, in that same concept, I don't expect somebody else to have that same attitude. If they don't, that's fine. They're what am I going to do? It's not a very honorable thing to do. What are you talking about? You know, it's not what the game's about. So I don't know if they were upset or not for real, or if they were just being goofy or whatever, but and let's just say that they were actually angry. That's one of the things that I don't like about this Wild West PvP situation that we have going here, is because it leaves the door open for that kind of idiocy. You went out where you shouldn't have gone, and you did something you shouldn't have done, and you paid a price for it. So you know what? Just collect your receipt and drive on. That's the way life goes. If you don't want that to happen, guess what you don't do? You don't go out into the PvP section and walk away from your computer. There is a, I guess, game-wide sign of AFK, and that's called logging off. If you're not in your base where you're 100% safe, you need to be in front of the keyboard because, yeah, bad things are going to occur, you know? And to be mad at somebody for doing that to you, I mean, come on. Come on. While I would love to have some type of a tournament type setup and a more structured PvP, it's not up to me. I didn't build this game. This is what we got. I have to operate in those constraints. So I will not go out into the deep desert and then proceed to walk away from my computer. I came back because the fuel thing scared me. Not gonna lie. In that same concept, let's say I'm out here. Let's say I'm out here playing, and there's a house emergency. Something's going wrong in the home. Well, I'll walk away in an instant. And if I get killed, so be it. You know, there's priorities. There's things that matter, things that don't. Let's say I was out in the deep desert and bad things occurred. My dog fell, or, you know, I had to walk away. I had to step away. I'm accepting that responsibility. In the same thing, if Dumpling back here ends up having to go potty, I will try to talk to him and be like, can you wait for just a second? And usually he's pretty good at holding it, but if I did do that and somebody came along and killed me, it's not on them. It's not their fault. I don't know. I also, that kind of bleeds into another discussion because we're switching with the deep desert split and all that, the potential of griefing, which I wonder sometimes when I read stories from people who talk about their griefing. I wonder, I'd love to hear it from the other side. Well, I don't necessarily not trust what people are saying. There's a lot of times that the situation's not what they thought it was, or there's more to it. Hit the wrong button. I don't know. I'm babbling. Oh my. Dude. We started working on being a better ornithopter pilot. Because we're going to need to be. I think one of the biggest problems, can't wait until we get, cannot wait until we get the second DD. Yes and no. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again because that's what I do. But I constantly repeat myself and yap about things. The separate D and deep deserts, whatever. I think it's a good thing. Overall, I think it's a good thing. Having the separate deep desert with a PvP and a PvP one, here's what it does. Here's my biggest issue with it. It's not solving the root problem. Let's go ahead and just throw away any chance of a Funcom collab. They have a terrible PvP design. Hand-to-hand combat is very janky. Shooting each other seems to be okay. I would like to see a little more variety in guns and a little bit of the augments is a step in the right direction for making it so that when I run up and shoot somebody with my shotgun, or with my Regis triple shot, there's the potential that it's different from the one they're shooting at me. But there isn't a whole lot of variance, and there's only certain things you can do. And there's certain things that make sense, You're not going to put a extended magazine on a Dune watcher. Thank God I get extra 15% or 10% ammunition on a gun that only holds 3. Or only holds 2, actually. What am I talking about? But if I were to say out of all of them, I think that the ranged combat is better than close range melee. And vehicular doesn't make sense. A guy against a vehicle, the guy should lose. I mean, let's not be Hollywood here. Tanks are meant to destroy infantry, aircraft are meant to just slaughter infantry. That's what we do. Um, so I think they put a little bit too much emphasis on ground troops being able to deal with aircraft. Um, and the specializations haven't really helped that. There's several people on my server who, if you engage them in the air, their immediate intention is to go to ground. They don't even want to do an air battle. Uh, so the PvP is kind of janky. That's the real problem. Separating this out, there's a percentage of people who play PvP who are going to go mess around with other people on the PvE side. If they had a place to go where they could actually do the things they want to do, they wouldn't bother. Um, I don't know if PvP was an afterthought or if they didn't think it was going to be that serious or what. I don't know. But the PvP in Dune Awakening is not good. It's janky, it's not well thought out, and it definitely needs improvement. They said they're doing that. Great, but it still doesn't solve the 10 months or 12 months of crap that we played. And that really, I think, is the root of all of it. The fact that there's just no place for PvP players to go and do the things they want to do. Um, how they don't have a structured tournament, whether, if they want to make it lore accurate to where it's kind of arena based, or if it was, Paul and Jameis fighting in the rocks type thing, there has to be a one-on-one combat where there's the guarantee that there is not a third party option to where you and me are going at it. Somebody's whatever. Um, how many people have I killed in this game? You have no idea. You have no idea how many people I've killed. How many people have killed me? No idea. Why? Why? Any game with PvP has some kind of a tracking system, of a ranking system. Whether it was gear, whether it was shaders, there was always some way to tell that, hey, this guy likes to kill people. Or you would look at your stats and be like, wow, I keep getting killed. There's none of that. It's just, I feel like they were already almost done with the meeting about how to make this game, and then they came up with, oh yeah, let's put PvP in it. So with the rework of PvP coming, that needs to really hit hard. That needs to give the answers to the questions. And that would take the griefer concept. You're always going to have, there's always going to be assholes, but they're few and far between. It's common for a person to think, oh, thanks for griefing me for killing me. But dude, you were in a PvP zone. I'm flying solo, it was me against you. That's not griefing. But if the people that would do that kind of activity, they're always going to. But there's so few of them. If there was an actual PvP section, something to do in PvP that mattered, then they would be just the few and far between assholes wouldn't have friends. In this case, they do. People that are bored. The PvE section that they're going to create, I think is going to be great because it's going to give people a chance to experience a lot more things, some things that they wouldn't normally do. You got a better chance. What's the analogy I want to use? I'm a mechanic, so that's all that's coming in. You got a better chance of pulling a motor out of a brand new car than you do getting a PvE player to break out of their shell if they don't want to do something. I love them. I love the tenacity, but man, talk about stuck in a rut and stuck in their ways. So having this no ganking, no player attack is going to open up a lot of options for players who normally wouldn't be experiencing these things. The two big parts are the large spice fields and testing stations. The deep desert, farther out ones. I would expect that they're not going to be as rewarding as they are now, just because the bonuses are supposed to be on the PvP side. If it's gone, they should take those bonuses away. So they should do that. I heard wings. I don't know if it's a friend or if it's somebody investigating. They might be over there. Being sneaky. I was playing the other day and I took off and flew away. Oh yeah, I was on stream, and then all of a sudden Jiggy just goes flying away. It took him up in the air. I hope they disable thumpers in PBE. They can't. There is a challenge for one of the quests under your journey tab is to take a carrier out and use a thumper to get it away. Achievements aren't enough to tag it in, but also as a guild, we can do that. We can go out, put a carrier on a field, and then throw thumpers away to draw the worm away. A solo player wouldn't really do that, but a guild definitely would, and we have, and it's a good tactic. So yeah, the problem with it is thumpers can be used against individual players. That is a griefer method. So is throwing your shield on. I don't say things a lot of times when I'm playing because I don't want to give people ideas about bad stuffs, but that is definitely not something that isn't unknown. You know, they know about that already. So they really can't completely get rid of thumpers. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that either. So they're going to have to keep them in there. That landing, those wings landing got me all messed up. Plus I've been yapping now, so I'm thinking about that. So I wish I had an answer how to make things that are core or part of the game that aren't going to be abused, but I don't, you know. And I wouldn't want to see them go. That would make sense in my humble opinion, but if the thumper griefer becomes an issue, they may need to address it somehow. Absolutely, dude. 100%. You play to relax? Makes sense. That's what I do. Personally, I might actually indulge in PvP occasionally. I've said this before again, and of course I'm going to say it another time because that's what I do, because I just did that a second ago. One issue I really see with this is, and I hate that they're doing it, and I hope they can change it, they're getting rid of the PvP sections in Haga Basin. So Haga is going to be completely, it's going to be 100% PvE. I don't understand the entry point for a PvP player now. If you say you just show up day one, look at me, I'm on Dune, and you start going through the missions, and you get yourself to the point where you say to yourself, you know what, I want to fight somebody. You can't in Haga. You have to go to the deep desert. And see, these people are messing with me. Yeah, but you caught me talking, man. You caught me talking. I gotta get out of here. These guys are messing me up. How are we doing, by the way? 10,080. We did not fill up much. We're gonna have to do another run. We can't Can't leave low like that. But yeah, a player who comes in brand new, wants to learn how to do the games. How do they learn PvP? Only way to do it is to go into the deep desert, where they're going to encounter almost immediately players who have 100% combat specialization, grade 5 gear, all this craziness, you know? What are they going to do? That's why I don't give perms to anybody. I don't trust you bastards. How are they going to learn? Don't get me wrong, I'm a firm believer in one of the best ways to learn PvP in a game is to get your ass handed to you on a regular basis. Nothing enforces I shouldn't have done that more than doing what you shouldn't have done and learning the hard way. So don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be kid to glove here with everybody, but it used to kill me playing Call of Duty and even Battlefield to a certain point where I was just dead. I'm there and then I'm dead. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what they used. I don't know what hit me. I don't know what I did wrong beyond the fact that somebody caught sight of me. And I guess that's the only thing I can work on is hiding constantly. That's fun. I actually took third place on a one of the few. I was not a big battle royale player. In Warzone, I think the first one I did, I took third place. Not because I hid. Technically, I did. It's just I didn't know where everybody was. Couldn't find anybody. And I made it. I did encounter 3 people and killed them before I finally did get killed myself at the very end. But it wasn't the most exciting game as I'm running around looting, not knowing exactly what I'm picking up and whether it was worth it or not. But, you know, how are players going to learn? How are they going to learn PvP in this game with nothing in Haga? So, Funcom, if you're watching, leave Haga alone. This is considered stream sniping, by the way. But yeah, Funcom, leave Haga alone. We can't lose certain areas. And if you do have friends and they're willing to take some time and run around and just do silliness with you, that's awesome. But it's hard to learn. Hard to learn your limits when you're limitless. So, Haga Basin needs to do that. Also, one way to not get griefed is to be in a guild. Because when we go out and do stuff, we're in big groups. And one little douchebag that comes along and says, I'm going to thumper them. No, you're not. No, you're not. We've been hit, but it's been hit by groups who want to fight, so they weren't griefing us. But I knew they were up there. Ugh. It's fine. It's fine, boulders. Oh, I don't want to be up here. But regardless of whether it works or not, you can't deny that something had to change. Player counts and general player content comments would show you that something had to change. God. We are coasting. completely out. So I think what we're going to do, folks, is we are going to finish off this last load, and then that is going to be it for us. We do have a deep desert base that we have to tear down, and we have to figure out what we're going to do with all this stuff. Like I said, I don't have the room for it, but that's the opposite of a problem, and that's one that will be easily solved by just making more boxes. I can still make plenty of boxes in my base. So we'll find a little corner with nothing in it. In fact, I know of exact place. But that will solve our we need resources problem. Then we just have to focus on we need water. And we've already got a plan for that. I'm thinking that it's going to be better. Let's make it. Come on. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. A good little buggy. I'm thinking that we're just going to pop in a bunch of death stills, make some energy to support them, and we'll get it that way. Of course, we've only gotten 3 bodies while we were out here, and that definitely is not going to replace all the ones that we've used. But we may just do a couple assault runs in the local neighborhood where we live over in Haga, and we'll find some bad guys. I don't know where Funcom got their numbers, but it's about 80% players are doing PvE. Most of the time they track that. I mean, they technically have complete access to numbers like that, and whatever they want to know, they technically can. But we can verify it by looking at the Steam achievements, because that takes into consideration anybody who ever played this game. It will be a little skewed because somebody could have bought it, played it, and said, oh, this sucks, and turned it off and never played it again. Somebody could have got it and said, oh, I can't play this, my system can't run it, and they got a refund. They'll technically still be in there. And I think anybody who shows up for one of the free weekends that they did will also be counted as a person who played this game. But it references what achievements they've gotten. For instance, if I'm just going to throw numbers out there, let's say 50% of the player base got the achievement for making an ornithopter. 50% didn't, and that is it guaranteed 50% people who didn't come out here because you can't. I don't believe the taxi services are going to get you out here. Even if it does, what are you going to do? Just going to run around? Because you can't taxi service with a vehicle. So you kind of get an idea of what people are doing by the achievements that are done. If people aren't getting the achievements for the advanced machinery that you get to build, they're not doing plastanium either. So we can kind of verify the number of that. And there is an achievement for reaching the deep desert. And if X percentage, it is kind of skewed because, like I said, people who do a free weekend are still considered players. Somebody who returned the game after just 10 hours, they're still considered players. But it's interesting to look through that, through the Steam achievements, and see what percentage of the player base has achieved certain things. And also, in my guild, most of the people have done quote unquote everything. There's still little stuff for us to accomplish, but we've been all to every place. We've done all the dungeons. We've done all this. Maybe we haven't done them a million times or whatever, but it's weird for me when I come across a player who hasn't done some of this stuff. Like somebody will, people will be watching like some of the content I do, which I do that for people in that situation. But it is kind of surprising when somebody says, hey, I'm just getting ready to head out into the deep desert for the first time. And I think to myself, it's like, dude, I've been out doing this for months, It's just second nature for me. But again, not everybody's at the same place that you are. Easy to kind of just gloss over that and forget. But that's kind of where we can verify some of their numbers. But I'm sure they can. They're just doing the same thing. They just This person's never crossed over to the deep desert because they've never got the achievement. All right, Tor. This is a perfect example, brother. Or sister. I shouldn't judge. Shouldn't make assumptions. Um, you don't care for PvP. Okay. My question for that is, do you not like PvP, period? Like, no games whatsoever? Like, you don't do Call of Duty, you don't do Arc Raiders, you don't do any games that have PvP at all? Or do you just not like PvP in Dune? So let me know which one that is. That would be great if he's not watching anymore. I'm sitting here like a moron waiting for a response. Because the question I would ask for that is, um, my PvP game history is a decade of playing Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, um, multiple different battlefields. I liked Battlefield 1. That was Battlefield 4 is really good, but Battlefield 1. I also liked when you go back 25 years, I believe, maybe even more. Um, the fact that in Battlefield 2 you could do a commander role and you could ask the commander, "Hey, can I get a UAV? Can I get a artillery?" And I miss that. I don't like PvP period in any game. Okay. Um, if you could sum it up in one statement as to why, what would it be? Hey, inventory's full. Good. I'm not even going to bother switching it over. I think we're going to end up doing another run because it actually looks real good. I like seeing this. So I think we're gonna keep going. We're gonna fill that container. It's gonna take longer than 15 minutes. Okay. So you say you suck at it. That is the most common reason why players in any game don't like an aspect. Whether it's PvP, whether it's raiding, whether it's flying, whatever it is, the things that we suck at. And don't think I'm coming at you from the super awesome, you know, my name's emblazoned on plaques somewhere, PvP type stuff. But in any in any of the games, the things that we suck at or that we don't think we're good at, we don't do. We stay away from them and we dislike them. And sometimes that transfers over into groups to where, like, somebody who likes PvP in this game, it's like, what, are you freaking animal? Like, what are you, a little child? Like, oh, I want to shoot stupid guns at people and stuff. And, it can be kind of degrading because I've seen a lot of really cool people who are really good at the PvP side and they're not a-holes. They're not bad. But back to the point, the things you're not good at, you start to hate or you dislike. And then you translate that over into every single game. So when I first started playing Destiny, I was a joke. I was terrible. Um, I'd played Halo and used to do the Halo fighting, and because it was Bungie and there's so many similarities between the movement, the guns, I kind of had an advantage in that aspect from playing a lot of Halo to going into Destiny. But the things like your supers and stuff like that, and getting used to grenade throws, it took me a long time. I'm not the fastest learner, but I do learn. Um, at first, I hated it, but I wanted to do it. I kept at it, and I got pretty good at PvP. I've been to the lighthouse several times. Um, Iron Banner was my favorite. And I also prefer teamwork over individual achievement. I have some moments of greatness. Most of the time, I'm just there, but we're winning because I'm there. And I'm working with other people who are working with me as well. It's awesome things are happening. This game really doesn't give you that option. Yeah, you can pair up with a group, you can go do stuff, but yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is that you probably hated PvP in other games, and it affects you in the games you play forward, and you might be missing out. You really might be missing out. This game doesn't give you an opportunity to find out, so don't think I'm telling you to do PvP. But it's what we do. We Nobody wants to be that guy. Nobody wants to be the guy on the bottom of the scoreboard. Nobody wants to be the guy that had 2 kills and 18 deaths, you know. But if I could give anybody advice about gaming, is I'm I'm doing this right now and I'm streaming it. So I'm inviting you to watch my gameplay. And if you give me advice, that's great. If you give me suggestions, that's great. If you tell me stuff I didn't know, that's great. If you criticize my gameplay, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing this to impress you. I'm doing this to be friendly and to help people. And guess what? That happens. That's why we do this. And even if I'm not streaming, it's the exact same thing. I don't care what people say. It doesn't matter. If people want to laugh at me, like, oh, look at your little tiny base. Okay, that's fine because it's working out for me. And I'm enjoying it and I'm having fun. People will say, and I get this comment quite often, is, oh, how you play a dead game. I can't understand why you're doing this. Okay, you don't have to. I'm enjoying myself. I hate Brussels sprouts. I hate them. Oh my God, do I ever hate them. Why human beings eat those things, I'll never understand. Mrs. Rabbit loves them. And I love her. I think she likes me. I'm not sure. She sticks around, so I guess she does. It doesn't matter to me that, people's preferences are whatever they are. If you're having fun, you're having fun. If you're not, don't do it. But don't care what people say. Doesn't matter what they say. Obviously, you're not going to enter tournaments if you're not doing well, but I don't like what PvP does to me because, as you can see here, you watch, it's I'm having, relaxing kind of laid back gameplay, and even in stressful situations, I maintain that. But boy, against PvP, there's like an evil dark side inside that starts coming out. I start becoming a person I don't want to be. Go from the Jedi to the Sith Lord aspect. PvPers and sweet don't like me. WZ is cared if we win or lose. I just don't understand the PvP gankers. The only thing that ever mattered to me was testing myself. Uh, I consider it a win if I'm better than I was yesterday. If I'm worse than I was yesterday, I want to know what am I doing? What's doing wrong? It's always been a personal aspect for me, my own, situation. Uh, and like I said, I've always preferred team type games than personal glories. Uh, some of my best moments in trials and in Iron Banner were working with other people. I drew fire one time for my buddy who's charged. It's almost to a super, and he's like, "Oh, I only need another 5 seconds." I was like, "Okay," so I just shot and ducked and went completely defensive, and then he came out, killed 5 people in one shot. It was beautiful. We laughing. It's awesome. I didn't do it, but I was part of it, and I love being that. Man, I'm getting all sad now. I miss my Destiny friends. Damn Bungie for ruining that game. They didn't ruin the game. They ruined it for me, or I ruined it for them. I think maybe both. Um, they just started going in a different direction. one that I didn't like. Oh man, dude, that putting the vehicle cells. The next time we do this, guys, I promise I'm going to make a little tiny base, and we will change the order of it. We will make this so much easier. This isn't as bad. I should stop complaining and just start doing, you know. It's definitely worse than I'm used to because I would always have a base that I could drop this stuff in. Man. I hide chat for a reason, guys. Sorry, but I hide chat for a reason. And then also, like I said, that's the reason I don't like PvP in this game, but I have tried it. I have gone in and done it. Getting close to 3/4. I bet we hit 3/4 before we get this thing emptied. Eventually I'll stop. You know what? I shouldn't lie to you guys. I'll never stop doing that. I'm an idiot. Just when I stop doing it, I'll be like, "Oh, okay, we got that out of our heads." And then we'll do it right away. See, we just had to focus. I almost did it. I'm good at doing the quick thing though. That we've got down. I didn't used to do that. A friend that I was in the guild with was like, "Dude, just hit the F key, man." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Dude, hit the F key." It's like, "Yeah, it does the quick deposit." He says, "Once you put one thing in there, you never have to open it up again. You just hit that button and it's already just transferred in." It's a beautiful thing. Oh my god. We almost jumped in. I think it's the fact that because I know I have to hit E next. Like here, we go up there, and now we're hitting E in order to grab this stuff. So that's where the mental block is coming from. My finger is firmly planted on that E. I shouldn't have a channel. I shouldn't. Irresponsible of YouTube to allow me to advise people. There we go. Okay, so what are we thinking? Do we hit 3/4 in this bad boy? We did more than that. We are close. I'll tell you what, let's see. Can we so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. We got about 5,000 titanium. That'll go incredibly quick. About 6,500 in aluminum. 3,500 here, and then oh look, more aluminum that somehow ended up down there. Great amount of fuel cells. I'll definitely take that. Only 3 bodies, but like I said, we can get that elsewhere, so that's not such a bad deal. I think we'll call it there. I can't do that. I'm 1,000, just a little over 1,000 away from a completely full carrier. I do have to be careful though, because anything else we get now, we're going to be dropping on the ground. And that is so wasteful. And we're not supposed to waste things on Arrakis. I can only put so much in my backpack because I also have to break this thing down. Oh, That's right. I can't do that. I have to make sure I have at least enough spots. Ooh, that would have been horrible. We'd have been leaving fuel cells in the ground. Got to make sure I have enough space to break down the buggy so I can take it back. Otherwise, bad things occur. That was a natural reaction you just got there, folks. I knew I had to do that, but I didn't remember it at the time. I actually had like a little... Somebody blind? Actually had a little panic wave going across there. Ooh. Maybe I'll see about going where BS Legion went and reunite with the Pellies in our family. Do you know where they went? I'm getting a phone call. That's horrible. Also means my headset died. We've been out here so long, things are respawning. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. If I was smarter, I would have looked to see how much volume we have, and I would have made sure not to get too much. I think, in fact, we're gonna consider this thing full. We're gonna go up here. There's some more titanium that I want to get because that's what I'm the shortest on, and then we're gonna head back. But we spent 2 hours, and I got to do a bunch of chit-chatting and talking and explaining things. And we have alleviated at least one problem. I no longer can complain about my lack of resources. We're going to have to update power and water, but it's not too hard to do. And we are slowly approaching the end of the ginormous production run that we had to run ourselves through. The reason for all of this. We're still going to need to do this in order to maintain what we've built. I need duraluminum and fuel cells, and we need repair parts. That's what all of this turns out to be. But basically 2 hours has just solved a whole lot of problems for me. Created 2 new ones. Well, actually I wouldn't say that it created 2 new ones. It highlights or moves into first place a different problem I had, the water issue. And then in order to solve that, we'll then have a power issue. But if we solve the water issue and the power issue after solving the resource issue, then we don't have problems anymore. And that is called a win. I will personally... Oh, man. It's probably a mistake. If I have to leave something on the ground, we'll leave some fuel cells. There's worse things. Worse things to drop off. I will be spending time in both deep deserts. And I do have to say that the 2.5 multiplier for harvesting stuff in the PvP deep desert, I may never actually experience that. That's not why I'm going. And I'm not even a bad person. I don't plan to hunt. I'm not going to hunt prey, I'm going to hunt the hunters. I did it right. I did it wrong. Now we're on top of our carrier for some reason, and we just hurt ourselves. This is not your Dune name. I had that issue, but once we transferred servers, I was able to match it up to the channel, which was a huge day. I was so excited about that. The change in Haga Basin, even though I 100% don't support it, the fact that they're getting rid of the PvP areas will definitely help me with. I only have 2 more achievements in this game to get, unless they add more. But I have to kill 500 enemy faction bad guys. And I have to start a new character so I can get access to the early quests, because I have to get eaten by the worm and then tell Paul Atreides that I don't want to have him give me a sand bike. And that's all I've got left. Forever Alone. Remember that. Ooh! Did it again, but at least we didn't land on the thing. I did so well, but that time, I'm not going to lie, the hand was on the E. Hand was on the E. Okay, this is going to tell us whether or not we did good or if we screwed up. I'll hit it that way. Oh, we screwed up. Okay, so the issue is this is completely full. We have filled up the volume. We still have plenty of spots. So what I need to do is I need to clear out enough volume for my buggy. And that might be a bit tricky. The other issue I have is I got a lot of weight on me from all this junk and this stuff that I can't put in here. So I can't tear my I can't tear it down. Okay, so we got 100 volume in fuel cells, but I can't pick them up. But what I can do is switch, and then we can drop some fuel cells on the ground. Oh, there's a fuel cell right there. Sure, why not? We'll just add to the problem, right? Okay, so we come up here and we drop you. I don't believe I dropped it. No, I did. Okay, now we got to break the thing apart. Yeah, we're still on this. So I'm going to lose the fuel cells that were in there. There's worse things. And we're going to break down. And I'm keeping an eye on the on how much I have on me. Technically, I don't have to stick this inside that that cargo container. I can carry it out in my backpack. Again, why am I putting a thing in my backpack? Okay. So we're good. We could leave right now if we really wanted to. Let's take a look. So I'm at 40. You should be able to go over, right? It's 40 volume. Why won't you transfer? Oh, you know what? Watch this. Now that goes in, right? And then there'll probably be like one left. Things we do. There we go. That was as far as we could get it. Let's go ahead and take as many of these. We're going to leave 88 on the ground. I can live with that. It sucks, but I can live with that. And now we are gone. Oh, come on. Come on, Biggins. Come on, you can get out of there. There we go. That's a good girl. And we are off. So, an entire cargo container full of the materials that we need, which will be huge for what we plan on doing. Are we making friends? Oh, we're making... Oh my gosh, why are we not flying? Auto on. It's a good thing I got a leader, John, with me, because we just stand in the sand and talk. We hit the 2 hour. We actually went over the 2 hour mark, but we got people talking right now. So we're going to leave the... we're going to leave it running. Yeah, I think Gurahi, if I'm saying it right, or Gura, I think you showed up in my chat just a week or two before I went on my scouting mission and went to another server. But you mentioned the fact that you were on Pellucidar or Pellucidar. If you can find a way to meet up with Baron, if he shoots, or Baron, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to both of you. That was actually an insult to both of you. But if you meet up with Wired and he shoots at you, it's a good sign. It is going to be terrible how little of that container I'm going to be able to clear. More stuff than I have space for is not a problem in this game. And it'll go quick. All right. I remember the first time I came in to here with something under the carrier. I didn't trust them. It was unfounded because it worked the way it was supposed to. But when I landed in the deep desert and was looking, you could see when I did it, I could see the my buggy and then my Thopter. But when I land in Haga, it's behind me. And when I came back with a completely full load in the, I think it was a sandcrawler that I had, it was behind me. I freaked out. It's like, holy crap, you're kidding me. And then I was like, oh, it's behind me. Okay. And I went over and checked the inventory too because I didn't trust them to code it properly. All right. So what I end up having to do with this is I have to come in here in this angle and we drop it. And then once it clears the roof, we swing it over and that gives me enough room to land without touching it. It doesn't really matter if it did. I guess I'm touching it. But yeah, if we get it underneath there. And the only issue I have is when I try to pick it up, it tries to pick it straight up. And if I don't move into the center, to drag it over there while it's lifting off the ground. It gets stuck on the roof and tries to pull the carrier down. Apparently the winches on these things are incredible. Wonder what company makes those. Alright, let's see here. How bad is it going to be? So we got aluminum here, which is good because we had none. Alphabetical. Boom, boom. All right. I got a lot more aluminum than I thought I was going to get in there. So that's good. The bodies are going to be absolutely no problem because I have a chest that's almost completely empty of those. We got ourselves some fuel cells down here. Was very low on those. Hoping that this can get in there all the way. Man, I got a lot of fuel cells when I was out there. Holy cow. Awesome. We fit them all with just a bit to spare. 300, but that's beautiful. Oh, I guess, did I have them in there? I think there is plant fiber. It's either on me or in that thing. Nope, it's right there. 86. That's all we got, but whatevs. Shouldn't have run away from this area. Okay, so here's our Stravidium box, which is already pretty full. I don't know if it's the way of the game or if it's just me, but I seem to get way more Stravidium than any other. Okay, we fit it all, so that's good. And we were incredibly low on titanium. This at least will all go in. It doesn't. Okay. So we still got, we'll say 2,000 because we got 1824 and we got about a little over 2,000 of aluminum was the only things that we couldn't fit in to our storage boxes. But everything is, for the most part, full. We've only got a little bit of room in our fuel cells and a little bit of room in Stravidium fiber. Now I just need water to do stuff with this. So that's the thing. We're going to have to take on our next issue. So thanks for explaining the box drop. Just build the box first time this week. Haven't used it yet. Here for the relaxed gameplay. That's awesome, dude. Better than G2 gear. Hell yeah, man. Is it banana? Am I saying it right? I hope I am. This is the first time that I've ever gone out with just that cargo box. It's awesome, but there is a definite caveat. If I do this again, which I'm definitely going to, I'm going to build a base of some sort, even if it's just this tiny little thing, where it's got my subfief, a couple generators, and a box, so that I can go in and just tap, 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 transfer everything from one into that box, and then everything out. Like you saw me doing here. Like, look how quickly I'm able to disseminate this stuff. Big words. That is definitely something I would want to do. I would want to be able to get it out of the buggy and into the container much faster than I was doing by hand with a whole bunch of button pushes. A small base would do that, even if it's just a regular subfief and one box. All you need. That was the that's the only thing I would really change about how this went down. It did exactly what I wanted to do. It took about 2 hours. I was yapping. I did stop every now and then. If I was really hoping it and I had a box to do quicker transfers, I would think I probably could have gotten it done in maybe an hour. So that'll work. Why am I so heavy? What am I holding on to? Oh, I know what it is. I got a buggy in my pocket. But it, we have to go put that back together. Actually, I don't think I am. I don't think I will put that back together. The only reason I would do that is because I will need more jasmine, but I've got a bunch, and it's not a critical problem right now. I got rid of. Oh, I got rid of a fuel cell or two that I did not want to. I want to transfer that and that. Oh no, that's in vehicle storage, idiot. Let's bring these back. So that's what's left in there, and I'll tell you what, we're going to see if I can just stuff this 29, 17. That is the wrong box to try to do that in. Farming the stations is the new thing for the hybrid gear. Absolutely. Farming the stations. Oh, so I had said about when things got full, like, oh no, what am I going to do? I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to come in here and we are going to hit that. And we're going to switch those out. And we are going to build. I'm out of duster pumps. Okay. We're going to build a big box. That I want to make for this. But until we finish that up, it's going to work really good for holding everything. There we go. We're at 0, which means I've got plenty of space to go break down my little base out there in the deep desert that I got to get done before the storm tears it apart. But we're going to go do that right now. And then we are going to come back. And like I said, this solved one problem, but now it exacerbates another, which is we don't have enough water. And in order to get more water, we need more power. So we're going to get some more power. I got my roof set up the way I kind of like it. So I really don't want to make too many changes to the roof. Can I do this? I cannot, because I need some complex machinery, which I have, but it's elsewhere. But I tell you what, I know where I'm going to get that. So we're going to come back here. I need a little bit of advanced machinery. Other than that, everything else is fine with what's on hand. Probably drop 2 of these down. That's going to get me an extra 2,000 power. And we're going to make some death stills. We're going to start farming some bodies. Water problem solved. We'll probably put everything in here. And then once we get to where we need to be, we'll start knocking things back. But, yep, we've solved one problem. Now we just have a few more problems to solve. It's what we do. All right. Well, I am going to. I'm up to 12 in the stations, but haven't really been farming them as of late. Hmm. Um. Let's see. So I can't build that now, but yeah, we're gonna get that done. Okay, this is the time to go get a drink of water. Just saying. This is also a universal AFK sign to the world because I'm in a safe place. Da, 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 da. All right. Well, it's a little bit over. It's not bad though. We had a good time. Still have some coffee left. And that was using my carrier with a cargo box to go out into the deep desert and get a massive amount of resources to bring back home. Found a few ways that we can make it better. I think I went out just with like, this is what I run around with on a normal basis. We can change that because, I don't need a radiation suit. I don't need, you know, the spare battery pieces and all that stuff. We can trim that down a little bit, get a little more space on our backpack. Would definitely want to put some kind of a sub peeve to get a box just for faster transfers. That would cut down on the time drastically, and a great experience. So sometimes you do things and you find out that you did it wrong. That's how you solve it. That's how you don't do it wrong next time. It's a good night. Today was a good day. Right, buddy? You see him? He is snoring away. Oh, now he's giving me the side eye. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Wired, thank you so much for the gifted. That is so awesome, dude. And for the first super chat ever. Oh, man. It's going to be with me for the rest of my life now. Ugh. And we'll start getting some of that members only content that is listed in there. And yeah, we'll be good to go. So we got some more work to do. Got to get out there before that storm comes and tears the base down. That would be horrible. Make me very sad. And then we're going to come back and solve our water problem. So that's the rest of my night. I skipped Landsrat stuff. We'll do it tomorrow. That hasn't changed any, but we are running a good total. We're at 18 right now. So come 5 hours from now, we'll be up to, I can math, 23. And let's go ahead and take a look at this. We did get to 77 in our combat, which is awesome. I'm hoping to push that to 80 with a pretty good quickness. Maybe by the time we stream on Wednesday, we'll be there or just about there. And of course, still putting more into exploration. And in my guild, we have a guy who reached 100 in crafting, and he is nice enough to make things for us. So we're getting that 200 durability, even though we don't have it ourselves. That's what friends are for. And life is good. So that will be Wednesday. I'm going to jump off of here, go get a drink of water, and go to the bathroom since we're safe. Probably take him out because he always wakes up and has to pee. Oh, needs to wake. You got the sniffs? You gonna sneeze? I felt so bad the other day. I turned my chair and it caught his little paw and he yelped. But he forgave me. I gave him a treat. You're currently 90, level 90? Nice. Yeah, that durability, you know, you notice it. You really do. Actually, any of these skills except for sabotage, you notice. That getting that speed boost with exploration, where your max speed is increased. Yeah, you notice that immediately. And once you start doing things that are over 100 durability, and you're like, man, I've had this thing forever, and it just doesn't break. Crafting all the different bonuses, like the jackpots and the increases you're getting, I love that. I usually, I'll go up to my chemical refinery and I'll tell it, you know, all right, make 250 spice infused fuel cells. And then when I go back, I'll be like, oh, cool, it did 320. So, you know, I get a running total of how many extras it did. And then sabotage is just stupid. So I shouldn't say that, but I'm stupid to it. I don't know. It's not, it ain't me. Everybody has one that maybe doesn't work for them. So there you go. But yep, I'm going to jump off. Thank you so much for watching. Again, Wired, appreciate it greatly. I'll talk to you later. And as always, I will see you out there. Take care.